Hi everybody, hi patrons, and hi internets. We're trying something new today. My name is Alex Wong, and we are streaming the fifth episode of Cooking Records, and this is a interactive cooking show for music making. So I kind of had the chorus of this song, the lyric "Show Yourself," for a couple years, and I had a sense of what I wanted it to mean. And I was into the sort of double feeling of the lyric, of like this challenge, like show. So I was going to share some of the very early versions of this song, and you'll see that there were like many very wildly different versions before kind of settling on what the song actually became. So one of the first versions of this song. Oh, so come out, wherever you are. So yeah, they're all over the place, and this is kind of the first time I was figuring out the rhythm of the track and how the lyric would work with the rhythm. It's a long way from the voice memo usually for me to a finished thing, because there's so much stuff to work out, and there's so many stages of, like, the initial inspiration is really exciting, and then there's this sort of like, no, that idea sucks. If you go through all these phases, then they might finally reveal themselves, pushing out some of these monster voices and stuff. And recording of, like, I think this may have been the first time I kind of had like a sketch of what became the final version. So here it is. Close my eyes and I count to 10. You vanished just like you did back then. So from that point, it started to, I moved into sort of beginning to figure out the production. It is hollow, and it's got these metal tongues cut out of the solid piece, and each one has a note, and underneath it is a little magnet. So this idea, I had that voice memo that I played that was that sort of pushed rhythm, and so that was a really important part of this song, because it kind of played around with the spaces of the vocal phrasing. So I knew that this was going to be a kind of a big theme of this track. So I've just been really interested in how you can kind of like get things moving or have rhythm without it sticking out too much. So those get joined by this bass part, which I think what you saw in the video was my friend Matt, playing with a mallet on the bass string, and that also again was to infuse a little more rhythm into the part and a little more attack into the part, so that it didn't take up as much room as like playing at like a bass part. Here's the bass part. And so it's got its own little pocket, and it fits in its own space, so it's not stepping on any of the other drums happening. But together it's starting to make up a pretty more full pattern. It just gets a little more denser in the instrumental part, and that's where that drum comes in. So those parts are kind of these repeating figures, but they're repeating at different times. So every time they overlap, they kind of shift a little bit. this song is about, like this transformation. It's about going from sort of one phase to another phase, um, and sort of this metamorphosis. And so I really wanted to show that musically. And so the first half of this song is supposed to be one phase, and then the second half is supposed to be your transformation, and the middle is the transformation. So rhythmically, the first half of the song is felt in 3/4 time. So it's got this 1, 2, 3 thing. So again, it was this idea of like almost like awkwardness to something that was more flowing, like electronic music, like a drop. It's a bit jarring. So here is that. Sometimes a good test for a song, it has good bones, and um, you can push it and pull it and tweak it and put it in different settings, and it still will come across as a song. That to me is a sign of a song that's written, that's solidly written. If you depend on some production aspect for the interest of the song, then it's not written into the DNA.